Zada was released on Regis Bond, said possibly faces a battery charge, police say. They did not say if the mother faces charges of changing her story. Attempt abducted against Zada hasn't officially been dropped yet. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Lost to it. Okay. No, that's fine, man. Oh, good. Thanks for letting us know. So, okay. So, what is the wrap up? What has happened? Okay. So, what basically happened is a man allegedly patted a girl on the head, and subsequently, the mother has acted on that situation. She's pulled the gun out, thinking the guy was trying to kidnap her kid. Now, my question is, why is a random stranger touching a child on the head? Look, yeah. You don't go through and start randomly touching people's kids. That is wrong. And look, he is still charging like battery charges and stuff like that, which is probably should be deserved to be dropped. But at the end of the day, yeah, just don't go touching other people's kids. Oh, okay. It's super laggy. That's fine. Yeah, sorry guys. Internet's getting upgraded soonish. I am also recording this, so the full story will be up soon. So you'll be able to check out the full story actually recorded on my computer and not have to worry about the internet. It will be a separate story, so yeah. But yeah, at the end of the day, basically what happens is this guy looks like he's tried to pat a kid on the head. Looks like he's and tried to go through and to, I don't know, pat her on the head, I suppose, for lack of a better word. And the people, the mother's lost the shit. The mother's seen this guy grabbing the hair or touching the head. Why are you touching my daughter? Pulled out a gun and threatened to shoot the guy. Look, I know people are going to claim that this is fake news. InfoWars is news. Mainstream media has also reported on this as well. So at the end of the day, it looks like they're just reporting on what the news is actually said. So I don't think this is actually anything to do with InfoWars. Obviously they need to update their story, and this has been up for a while, so let me see if they've actually updated it for you. I do a lot of research in that, like, hours before the show goes up, so, and this stuff about him being released is only literally just happening like an hour or two ago, so yeah. No, they haven't got any. They've turned comments off. Updated it. So this is obviously where, you know, people like InfoWars get a bad rap. They should obviously go through and update the story. And they hopefully they will. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, obviously, yeah, I think this is just a misunderstanding. I don't think he should be touching the kid. I don't think he should be going through and touching any strangers' kids, let alone just patting them on the head. I think that's wrong. You know, I've walked in through shopping centers and, like, you know, like, kids have fallen over and I'll be like putting my hand up to say, like, hey, I'm not touching your kid. So yeah, I do think it's a little weird that he was patting her on the head. Maybe he's just a friendly guy. I don't know. But at the end of the day, look, it seems to be like it's a misunderstanding. They've released him from jail now. They've reduced his bail. He's going to get charged with assault, I think it was they were saying. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's a big misunderstanding. But like I say, dude, don't go fucking touching other people's kids. Hang on, I've got to take my ankle bracelet off. Don't go touching other people's kids. Is probably the moral of this story. So yeah, I think he should have, you know, maybe kept his hands to himself. But also, I think the mother obviously definitely overreacted too as well. So that would be where I would come in with this. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you think the mother overreacted? Do you think it was a cultural misunderstanding? Do you think at the end of the day he shouldn't be touching other people's kids? Let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Alright, let's keep going. Thanks for the update too, by the way, TL. Thanks for letting us know about that, man. That's why I like doing these live shows, so you guys can go through and, yeah, discuss things. All right. An average of 3 church attacks per day in multicultural France. I find that's pretty high, but okay. Over the past 3 years, French churches have become target of vandals and criminals, with an average of almost 3 attacks of vandalism per day. So that's just things like people graffitiing them and stuff like that. And look, obviously, I'm not going to say that's all people that are multicultural that are doing it. Obviously, the church has had a bad reputation lately with the whole pedophile scandal and everything like that. So at the end of the day, I think it's a lot of people from both left and right who are just furious at the church. I think it's a lot of mixed cultures who are... So I'm not going to go through and make out that it's just because they're Muslim or anything like that. I think it's a combination of both. People are probably just fed up with all the shit that goes on in the church at the moment. So a report from the Criminal Intelligence Service of the Dramatic noted that from 2016 to 2018, there have been thousands of cases of church vandalism, peaking in 2017 with 1,045 cases. Obviously, vandalizing churches is bad. This happened in France, Wolfie. If you're talking about the church, France. If you're talking about the mother, it happened in Virginia, I believe it was. So yeah, according to French Interior Ministry, when cemeteries are taken into consideration, number acts of vandalism rose to 1,063 in 2018. Earlier this year, in 1 week alone, the desecration case of anti-Christian vandalism, France saw 12 churches vandalized, including attackers attempting to set fire to the Church of Saint Sulpice in Paris. In Nimes, an even more horrendous attack occurred when vandals smeared feces on the wall of the Church of Notre Dame des Fers and stealing objects from the altar. In March, over 800 years old Basilica of Saint Denis is now heavily migrant-populated suburb of Paris was also vandalized, with Basilica organ being heavily damaged and sustained glass windows were broken. Thefts of religious objects have increased since 2016, rising from 121 to 129 in 2018. According to the gendarmes, the robberies are mostly opportunities because churches are often easy target. A chalice can be sold for anything between 200 to 2,000 euros. Look, obviously, I think that immigrants obviously have a problem with the Christian religion as well. I'm not saying they're not responsible, but I think that there's also a few people have obviously taken to opportunities to attack churches and graveyards when it's because of these latest things with churches. I work at the mall. Don't say that, man. I'm not going to read that out, but it's yeah, don't post where you work, man. People will come after you. The cops beat him for what he did. He tripped a few times now. Yeah, that's wrong. If the cops are beating the guy because of it, that is wrong. So, yeah. That he's innocent. Well, yeah, innocent to a certain point. He did obviously touch the kid, but he didn't try and kidnap her. Yeah. I can get the cops. I don't like it, but I can understand the cops beating the man because they thought he kidnapped a kid. But, you know, look, at the end of the day, they were wrong, weren't they? So, he didn't try and kidnap the kid. And I was wrong about it too when I first read it. So, yeah. Look, at the end of the day, obviously, this is the problem with emotional decisions. I presume they've made an emotional decision to push the guy down the stairs, so to speak. But, yeah. But, dude, don't post your address, man. I'll try and blow that part out. I'll try and blow out the comments for that video so you don't get to see that. And let me just post a whole bunch of comments. so it goes off the screen. That should clear that. But yeah, as for this church attacks, yeah, I do think that I do think that at the end of the day, those sort of attacks are they are common. It's not enough, was it? No, I needed one more line. Damn it! I had to do one more line. There you go. But like I say, yeah, I think those attacks, these church attacks, I think a lot of it is vandals who are just upset with the church. And I think a lot just, yeah, just venting their frustration. I do think there's a bit of both. I do think there's a bit of migrants who are obviously against Christianity. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's definitely something that yeah, will rise with obviously immigrants. Wally, I did that because his address was on the screen, his work address. Yeah, T, I'll just say stuff like that, man. Just say that you know them personally. You work, yeah, and don't even say you work with them. Just say you know them, and I generally take your guys' point of view over things. So I know them. I know a few of them, and they bragged about it. So trust me, you'll see if it. Oh, okay. Were they bragging too? Were they? Ugh. Yeah, I reckon it would have been buried. If you didn't say anything, it would have been buried about it. Yeah. But like I say, that said, he shouldn't be touching the kid either. So, yeah. But don't post your address, man. Don't post your address. Anyway, let's keep going. CNN's Christine Amplifier suggests lock her up chant is hate speech. Okay, yeah. Cool. Alright. Yeah. Look, yeah, some police are heavy-handed. There's always corrupt police and everything. I don't like the fact that cops are beating him up over it. So, I think that's a lot of crap. But yeah. CNN anchor Christine Akapal asked former FBI Director James Comey on Tuesday if he should have restricted people from saying lock her up because the phrase amounts to hate speech. It really doesn't, but anyway. Comey asserts during an interview that President Donald Trump targets private citizens with investigations and powers of the executive. Okay, source. You Trump derangement syndrome person. Calling for locking up of his potential proponents, including people like me. Yeah, but the thing is that Trump's asking to lock you up because you're a criminal. That's why he wants to lock you up, or he thinks you're a criminal. I tend to agree with him, but regardless. But that's why he wants to lock you up, is because he thinks you're a criminal. Not because of, for example, he with you. So, you know. I've had to put my ankle brace back on because my ankle's killing me again. I hurt my ankle at work, guys. Comey asserted during the interview, okay, Alco seized on Comey's use of the phrase lock up and wondered if the FBI should censor the use of lock her up in reference to former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Of course, lock her up was a feature of the 2016 Trump campaign, Amado said. Do you think, in retrospect, with the wish that people like yourself, the FBI, I mean, that people in charge of law and order had shut down that language? That was dangerous potentially. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's not. Government explained the First Amendment to Akapati, which is great. You know, he still believes that. Thank you very much. That's the role of the government to play. The beauty of this country is people can say what they want, even if it's misleading or if it's derogatory. Well, I don't think it's misleading. I don't think that's misleading at all, but anyway. Dude, your stream seems to appear to have squirrel aids. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how we start talking about controversial targets and or topics and suddenly I start getting squirrel aids. But like I say, guys, the full video will be uploaded onto Nonpartisan Media Live. So obviously check that out. Also, I will also be putting up these segments on Nonpartisan Media. So there's that too. let's jump on to the next thing because I really want to wrap up today because the internet's just deciding to shit itself, which, you know, is always good news, I suppose. Sarcastic, of course. Brzezinski on out-of-control Biden accusations. This is ridiculous. Tuesday, MSNBC Morning Joe co-host Melka Brzezinski weighed in on the growing accusations of inappropriate touching from former Vice President Joe Biden and said conversations about Biden's creepy intentions. It's funny. It's like they want Joe Biden to run as Prime Minister for 2020. Wonder why they seemingly care about it now. Baroka said the conversation about Biden has gotten out of control, adding it's ridiculous because the potential Democrat presidential hopeful who she noted can be President Donald Trump, is a nice guy, if not a little bit creepy. He's a nice guy. He's not a predator, and this is ridiculous. Let me just say that this is ridiculous. It's completely... The conversation has gotten out of control. Brzezinski lamented, and Democrats on the other... and Democrats and those who are on the left who wanted to tweet to me today, go nuts and get all woke. You're eating those who can beat Trump. Whatever. Look, at the end of the day, as for this, do I think Joe Biden's creepy? Probably. Probably is. Do I think he can beat Trump? I suppose anything's possible. But at the end of the day, I don't think Trump is attacking him just because he's a presidential candidate. I think he's attacking him because he's creepy. And Trump has been right about this sort of stuff in the past, so I tend to give it more credence. So, yeah. Washington thanks Trump for First Step Act. Citizen Barack Obama not supporting black agenda. So, actor Isaiah Washington tweeted his thanks to President Trump's support for the First Step Act, while he also criticized former President Barack Obama for his lack of action regarding the black agenda. Washington tweeted on Monday his praise for Trump and the passing of the First Step Act, which dedicated to criminal justice reform and prisoner rehabilitation. The actor was invited to DC to celebrate the legislation, and he calls for more reform, which he says Trump's predecessor never did. So, yeah, it's kind of a good story, I suppose. We'll see how many acting roles this guy gets in the future. Probably none. Unable to wait 2 weeks, Democrats plan nationwide tantrum if Mueller report is not released tonight. I'm going to crack a tantrum and that's just going to be the end of it. A coalition of prompt progressive grassroots organizations are planning a nationwide protest on Thursday if Attorney General William Barr does not release Special Counsel Robert Mueller's full Russia report by Tuesday deadline set by the House Judiciary Committee Chairman Gerald Nadler. Barr and Mueller are currently working to redact sensitive information ahead of the report's full public release, which Barr says should be ready mid-April or sooner. Not soon enough, however, for the Democrats, hoping the full report will provide gotchas that will provide Trump and his team committed malfeasance, despite Mueller's conclusion that there was no collusion between Trump and Russia. So, yeah. Leftist derangement syndrome. Okay, we have breaking news that I'm going to refresh on this and on this. So then we'll cut out for a sec. Okay, so there has been another a